All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Eclipse Eve across the continental United States. This is a big deal, isn't it?
It sure is.
We're Mike and Jennifer Wendland, and let me first of all welcome many of you who are seeing us for the first time because we've had lots of attention about this special we're going to do. We are from the people behind Road Trekking, which is a travel blog devoted to the RV lifestyle, and also our YouTube RV travel lifestyle channel. And we are delighted to be talking today about what we think is the single biggest RV travel event ever. And that is the millions of RVers who are across the United States, the continental United States, to watch the total eclipse of the sun. And this is a big deal.
And we haven't had one for 38 years across the continental U.S.
Last one, 38 years ago. We'll have to look at our little notes here. It was in February of 1979. And I think that was only affecting a few states.
5 states.
5 states.
Only 5 states had a chance to see it.
This one is even bigger. Let's talk about a couple of things of what's going to happen. We're going to try the most ambitious Facebook Live project we have ever done, a 1-hour broadcast. We are going to touch base with RVers who are literally in the line of totality across the continental United States. We've got top experts in the RV media world that will be joining us. And we've got you as well. You can ask questions, you can make comments, you can post your questions right underneath us as we're continuing along. As I see Dawn is there, and John and Pam, and we'll talk to questions later on. Let me explain how this works so I can apologize in advance. This is on the internet, and you all know the internet can be kind of flaky sometimes. So depending on your connection, it may pop in, it may pop out. We're hoping and praying it does just a great job. But it is the internet, and we're going to have to see how well this works. And we're doing the best we can. It'll come back on, it'll come off, and we'll keep it going. But you'll be able to watch this on Facebook, of course. It will be up there. But it will live forever over on our YouTube channel. And I just want to explain to everybody where that YouTube channel is so that you can see it. This is our RV lifestyle YouTube. That's my Twitter account, actually. I'm going to take you straight to our RV lifestyle channel here on YouTube. You can just go to, if you want to actually go to that, just go to Road Trekking, or just go to RV Lifestyle Channel, and you'll be able to jump right in and watch us there. And it will stay up there. It'll be up there later tonight, and it'll be up there forever, so you can watch it for many times. Now, here's what's going to happen tonight. We are going to have a number of guests, a number of check-ins from all across the country. We're going to talk about what it's like out there and where they are. But to start us off, we want to explain to you just what a big deal this total eclipse of the sun is. And we're going to have reports from across the entire country in that way. It's going to be a pretty amazing time, I think.
I think it is too. What is that?
Somebody's playing music on my iPhone. How did that happen?
I don't know.
I have no idea either. But anyway, if there's a glitch, it'll happen when you're doing live video. It's amazing that we can do this. We're doing this with some technology that we're trying out and experimenting, and if it works well, we can do this from RV shows, we can do this from RV camping events, and many other things. Love seeing everybody talking to us. All right, so what is an eclipse all about? Well, it's a lineup
of the sun, moon, and the earth.
That's it, and they line up perfectly. Now, the sun, we've learned, is 400 times bigger than the moon. But it's also 400 miles further away than the moon, so they look the same when the moon's circle passes it. And that's what we'll see tomorrow. Early reports, by the way, tell us the weather is going to be pretty good in the west, maybe a little good in the Mideast, and then some scattered storms in the southwest. But we have a friend that we talked to that you know from the RV community. Her name is Chris Gould. Chris is the other half of Geeks on Tour. And Chris, this will be her third total eclipse. Chris saw 2 earlier ones in far-off countries with her mother. And we're going to bring Chris on. Well, to start us off talking about the eclipse and what it means, let's get a perspective of somebody who has actually seen them, and not just one, but more than one, and not just here, but around the world. Joining us right now, you know her as Mrs. Geek, the better half of the Geeks on Tour. Chris Gould joins us from right next to her RV in Florida. Chris, you have...
We're on the Jersey Shore.
Right, oh, you're now on the Jersey Shore. Well, it looks like Florida.
Manahawkin Bay.
Manahawkin Bay. Oh my gosh. Well, that looks great. So tell us about your previous eclipse experiences.
Well, as I mentioned in a Facebook post, which you saw, my mom was an eclipse chaser. I don't know when she got interested in it, but she went to several, and there were two where I went with her, and they were both in exotic places. I mean, you spend lots of money for a tour group to take you. In my case, we went to Chile.
Chile.
The Atacama Desert is high in the very northern area of Chile, and this was 1992. And people were camped out in tents. It was quite an event, and it was a high desert, which is a very good place to see a solar eclipse because you know that there's not going to the odds at least are very good of not having any cloud cover. Now that was 1992, and it was spectacular. I loved it. You could see the shadow coming down the hill in the distance, and then coming up your hill,
Wow.
and then covering you in darkness. But the second one is the one I really remember, and that was in 1999 in Turkey, and it also a solar eclipse, the totality anyway, when it's actually dark, is only 2.5, 3 minutes. But it's a momentous event. So how do you make that happen? There's a whole party. I mean, I felt like I was at a Renaissance festival all day long. And then came the eclipse. And even though I had seen, that was actually my third total solar eclipse, I still, when it gets dark in the middle of the day, you feel like a primal being that doesn't know what's going on. And I cried both times.
Really? It's that
Yeah,
emotional. That
it
emotional.
is. Even when you know exactly what's happening, and yet there's something about it that shakes you to your core.
I've been describing this as the ultimate RV event of the year. It's
I
made
bet.
for RVers, and we're getting reports from coast to coast, more RVs on the road than anyone has ever seen before. How about the geeks? Where are you going to be for the eclipse?
Well, we first, we knew that it was something we wanted to do, and it's the totality goes across South Carolina, which is in between where we are and Florida, which is where we're going. So we figured we would definitely see it. We figured we would just be driving through and kind of pull off to the side of the road. But as we heard more and more about the crowds that are going to develop, we went online and through our Harvest Hosts membership.
Great group, yep.
Yeah, we found a winery that is right directly in the path of totality, and they are making an event out of it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I know you'll be there, and I thank you for sharing that as we get started with this program tonight. Have a great time. Put some pictures up. We'll want to share your photos and see it. And Chris Gould, Mrs. Geek from Geeks on Tour, you got your glasses. Good for you.
And don't look at that sun without these.
Thank you, Chris, the Geeks on Tour, and many of you checking in. I see Kathy and Les from the Irish Hills, and Richie and Sherry and Dawn and Mark Polk. They'll be on the program a little later. Joette George from up in Michigan, and many of you watching us. We're delighted to have it again. So that's an idea of how special this eclipse really is. It is all about one thing, though, and that's called totality. That is that narrow little band. It's only going to last for 2 minutes and 42 seconds in that 70-mile band across the country. But that's what you want to experience, the totality. And we're going to have people from across the country now checking in and telling us all about it. But I think before we go too far, we better give you a reality check. And the reality check is this. There is a lot of traffic out there, as so many people are experiencing boondocking for the first time. Now, Jennifer and I love it. That's the way we prefer to camp. We don't like hooking up with electricity. We like being in the middle of nowhere. A lot of people have caught that trend, but they're going to learn it because they're out there in farmers' fields like that all across the place. And that's pretty neat. Now, I want us to go to Oregon, to Prairie City, Oregon, and our friend Jan. Well, from that big road trekking event near Prairie City, Oregon, we're joined by our good friend Jan Seiner from Road Trek and our road trekking gatherings. Looks like you got a great gathering going for the Eclipse, Jan.
Yes, we do. We've got almost 40. I can't say road treks. We got everything from prevos to tents, but mostly road treks. And we're having a great time out here. It's beautiful, beautiful country.
Now, tell us where you are and give us a sense of what it's like. You're all boondocking, right?
We're all boondocking. We are in a cow pasture, which apparently is a freeway used by elk. Last night we had a great view of an elk on the ridge just to my right, just standing there looking at us, probably about a quarter mile away. We're surrounded by the strawberry wilderness, and it's a beautiful, beautiful valley out here. I'm going to try to turn around and see if you can kind of see the mountains behind me
Oh,
and
yeah.
any of that right there, the valley. So I'm going to keep going here. So you can kind of see where we are. This is definitely rancher country.
Why don't you introduce us to some of the people that are there and tell us what's
Okay,
going on?
so let me find here. Ted, is this a good moment for you? Okay. So Ted Judah. Ted Judah's our astronomer.
Hey, Ted, how are
Astronomer
you?
with a mouthful.
What's that?
How are you, Ted?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Now, Ted is the astronomer. You have some gear set up. How are you guys going to? It looks like you're going to have clear skies.
Yep. I've got several telescopes and binoculars with solar filters and glasses, and we're set.
How big of a deal is this eclipse as an
It's a very
astronomer?
it's a very big deal.
Yeah,
It's like the Super Bowl of astronomy.
it's super web astronomy. Well, that is great. How's the weather forecast for Oregon?
Last I checked, it was going to be just stellar here, clear.
That is great. Now, would you give us? I don't think we can give enough advice to people about being careful staring at the sun with unprotected eyes.
Correct. That is true. Any amount of sunlight going into your retina is bad, so you want to avoid that at all costs. I tell children when they're putting on their solar eclipse glasses to look away from the sun, put them on, then face the sun, and then look away to take them off, because kids will sometimes just take them off as they're looking, and that's something that they should avoid.
Great advice. Great advice. Well, if you hand it back to Jan, he's going to walk around and show us some more people and some more that's going to have our great eclipse. And thanks for your
Thank you.
expert. Appreciate it. So,
All
yeah.
right.
So hang on, Mike. I want to get Hazel's take on it. Hazel's Ted's daughter.
Hi,
And
Hazel.
she's out here.
This is your first eclipse, isn't it?
Yes. You've never seen one
Yeah.
before.
Good. All right.
All right. Okay. So let's see. Who else do we have here?
Why don't you? It looks like you're it looks like it's a social hour out there. I know how those go.
Yep. We're this is a very impromptu happy hour / potluck that nobody was ready for. So we have lots of chips and lots of very cool stuff.
Why don't you raise the camera a little bit so we can see what's behind you? All we see is your unshaven
So
face.
so this is our group.
Yeah.
Everybody say hi to Mike.
Hey, guys.
Now I'm in the right direction. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, I know some of those people. Al, hey, Jan, I'd like to hear one of them. Tell me, who came from the farthest distance? Do you know?
So we had a couple of far travelers. Pennsylvania.
Let me talk to them for a second.
Okay, here you go.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Hey, where did you come from?
Pennsylvania by way of Alaska.
Oh, well, now that doesn't count. You were on your way back home. You're on your way back home. That's
Yeah.
great. That is great. So how long have you been on the road?
Since May 15th.
And then this is a great way to celebrate that Alaska trip.
Oh yeah. We're visiting our son in Portland, so we came out here to do this too.
That's great. You guys look like you have great weather. It looks like it's going to be fun.
Beautiful.
Why is this such a special event for RVers more than even the other people?
Well, we get a chance to get out and stay out here with all the amenities.
I don't see many amenities out there.
They're right there in that tin thing.
There you go.
See them in that tin tent there. They're all in there.
All right. Well, congratulations on the Alaska trip, and have a great time at the Eclipse.
There's actually a bunch of people here that have been to Alaska. The people behind me have all been to Alaska too.
Oh, really? That's great.
Yeah.
Where are they from? Where are you from? The woman in the pink. Where are you from?
San Jose, California.
San Jose.
Yep.
Okay.
But
That's great.
via Alaska.
Via Alaska. That's great. Everybody seemed to go to Alaska this year.
Yes.
Hey, Jan, show me some of the different RVs that are there.
I'm sorry, Mike. What'd you say?
Ask Jan if he can show us some of the different RVs that are there.
Oh, okay.
So what we have is I'm gonna walk up here just a little bit. So we have the Prevo.
Yeah.
This is at the
Class
top
A
of the luxury market here.
Yeah, that's good.
And then we have all the way to, I don't know if you can see them all the way across the field there. We have a Vanagon with a pop top. You can kind of see it peeking up from behind the minivan.
Yeah.
So that kind of brackets our RV range. We have everything from road treks from the 80s all the way up to brand new ones. We've got a couple of
hold the camera up. Hold the camera higher.
Okay.
Tell them how to work the camera. There we go. As all we're seeing is your chest instead of the.
Oh, there. Well, that's the best part of me.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go that far, Jan, but. One of the things that we keep saying about our road trekking gatherings, it's not the vehicle, it's the lifestyle, and that seems to really show it. That
Yes.
So many people are boondocking on this weekend across the country for the first time. And don't you think this is going to be an amazing boom in boondocking after the eclipse?
Oh, I think it's awesome. I mean, we've had people actually come here from, there's the other half of the property is a regular campground, and we've had people stop by here and ask us what it is we do and who we are. So I think definitely there's going to be a big upkick in when people realize just the freedom that you get from this kind of lifestyle.
Well, this is just one of a number of gatherings that we do. The next one we got is coming up in just a few weeks in Tupelo, Mississippi, and we've got upstate New York later on, and then up into the wilderness camping and the snow. And we just love these road trekking gatherings, and what a great time you're going to have out there in Oregon. We'll look for more of the photos, and tell everybody hello from us, and thanks for sharing your Eclipse Eve excitement with us on this special broadcast. Jan, you're a great guy. I wish I was with you tonight.
Absolutely. You have a great time.
Bye-bye. That was our buddy Jan Steiner out in Prairie City, Oregon, right underneath it. Didn't that look like they're having a good time?
It looked like a really good time. I'm kind of sorry we're not there.
Yeah, I do too. Although it's kind of fun because in doing this program, we are able to touch base. We're going to go all across the country tonight in this. We've got many, many more reports, and you're going to see them. I want to just go over a couple housekeeping things. I think we found the problem when we played just video. I didn't have any audio on that. I was going to narrate over it and show you all the traffic stills, and that's why the video cut off. But I think we got that figured out. As long as you can hear us now, and you can hear us when I go to our live reports out in the field, then we're in great shape. I'm hearing many of you give us comments on the left, and you can ask questions. We'll do our best to answer any questions as you post them, as we continue our coverage here of Eclipse Eve, and this is pretty amazing. One of the things that was fun about seeing Jan is you get this sense of how tight this RV lifestyle community is.
It's amazing that people can come from all over the States and Canada and come together in instant friendships, and what you share is that love of camping and being outdoors. And
everybody is different. I mean, our groups are about the most diverse groups you can do. We're politically, religiously, ethnically, you name it. But we have that one thing that we keep in mind, which is the RV lifestyle. And that is about caring for people, enjoying God's creation. And I've never been in any kind of community in my life that is as tight-knit, as welcoming as the RV community. And that's pretty neat. That is pretty neat. Well, that was our road trekking gathering, and that sold out. We even were listed by Travelocity magazine as the best road trek gathering or eclipse gatherings in the country. So that was a pretty good deal. Mm-hmm. We want to now. That was kind of like a big organized gathering, but RVers across the country are doing it in different ways. Many of them in just 2s and 3s who said, "Hey, we're not too far from totality. Why don't you come to your house and why don't you see what that is like?" So now we want to go to another part of the country. We want to go actually out to the very middle of the country, to Lincoln, Nebraska. And that's where we're going to find our friend Jeff Mardica and a group of other. Checking in now from the veritable breadbasket of America, the great state of Nebraska, is our friend Jeff Mardica. You all know Jeff. He's a terrific photographer. And Jeff is with a bunch of other road trekkers out there. Where are you, Jeff, and who's all there?
We're in Lincoln, Nebraska. So
it's home of the Steinheiders.
Hey.
Yep, so we're hanging out at their place right now.
We've got the Steinheimers, we got the Phipps, we got them. Yep, and it's been amazing. So tell us what the atmosphere is like in Nebraska. What's it like there?
To me, who doesn't travel a lot in the summer because I prefer winter camping, it seemed like a lot of traffic. What did you guys think coming across?
I thought there was a lot of...
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of people heading out this direction.
Yes.
So we're heading about 40 miles south of here for totality.
Now, Jeff, everybody knows you from our Facebook group and our road trekking page and everything for photography, but a lot of people are going to want to take photos of this, and this is not something that you just jump into arbitrarily. It's a little different. Would you give us a couple of photo hints?
Some of the hints are probably look at the pictures that the pro people are doing on Facebook and just enjoy the experience. If you haven't thought about it yet, what you're going to do for this, it's going to be hard to do. There's a huge range of light that happens. So the only time, if you're in totality, you can go ahead and take a picture. If you're not, don't burn your eyes out. It's just like the safety goggles kind of a thing. If you've got a big zoom lens and you zoom in on the sun, that's the worst possible thing you can do. During totality, when you can't see, if you're in that path and you cannot see the bright piece of the sun, you can go ahead and try to get some pictures to get that corona that's around the sun, around the moon. But for that, typically you have to take up to a dozen pictures and combine them in post-processing. So it really is one of those things that's probably best left to others to do.
Just enjoy it. Point. Don't stare at it.
Otherwise,
what about using like a cell phone and just taking a picture? Will that capture anything? Or is it just too bright?
It's going to be so small is part of the problem too. I mean, you'll get kind of a piece of what's going on as far as the landscape goes. And a lot of the cool things that can happen with it too are going to be taking pictures of people freaking out around you. From what I'm told, this is my first total solar eclipse, so I'll be taking pictures of people freaking out.
Let's go talk to these people that are freaking out. Let's go over there to the Steinheimers and the Phipps there. So, what brought you guys to journey? Of course, you guys live in Lincoln, Nebraska, so you invited everybody right to the zone of totality. Yep. But the Phipps drove from, I guess they're from Michigan, and Jeff from near Chicago. What is attracting you guys about this solar eclipse as RVers?
Oh, as RVers, RV lets us go wherever we want. This has been on a bucket list forever. It's a natural. We wanted to go see a good eclipse, and we have the means to do it, so we do.
We've seen partials, but I don't think they can compare. I couldn't not go and see it if it was available. So we're here. And since they invited us, it was wonderful.
We met you guys in the winter camp out. So
yes.
You needed a place.
Yep.
And they accepted. So.
Yes.
Well, I wish I was with you more than just virtually tonight, because I understand somebody had one of my favorite kind of cakes last night.
Yes.
That was just the chocolate cherry rum cake last night. We're saving the fireball rum cake for tomorrow.
For those of you who don't know
some special root beer with, and maybe some strawberry rhubarb special drinks. So.
All of these folks are veterans of a winter camp out that we do every year in January in about 2.5 feet of snow, and one of the staple drinks is Fireball, and it's morphed into Fireball rum cakes and many other things. And I'm glad you're keeping that tradition in check for the summertime. Well, we wish you. So the traffic was heavy coming out here. What about the community of Lincoln? What is it like there in Nebraska? Are there a lot of people coming in? Because you're right in that zone, or in that right near it.
I see a lot more cars in our neighborhood than I normally see. And according to news reports, every hotel room has been booked. So
Wow.
we're in the path of totality, although not centered, but it's a very busy place.
It's going to be a great time. I wish we were with you guys. I can't wait to see the photos, and you'll put them on, I know, on our Facebook pages and groups, and we'll have many, but it's just good to see you, and have a wonderful eclipse out there. This is going to be fun.
You too.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you again sometime soon.
Fun.
We are in Lincoln, Nebraska with the Phipps and the Steinheimers and Jeff Mark, and that's the way a lot of these groups have come. Not just you don't have to be organized. People who are nearby invite people over, and they're having a great time.
It's like family. Seeing all these people that we know, that we've met at other occasions.
It really is. We've been doing this for 5 years now. We're not full-timers, but we're gone about half the time. And all these people we have met, most of them, I think there's a couple of strangers we've seen on these feeds, but most of them we've met, and it's just great to see them as we scattered literally from coast to coast watching this zone of totality. Well, we've mentioned in a couple of these reports about how many people are discovering boondocking. We love boondocking.
It's our favorite way to travel, out to camp. We like being off by ourselves, and we love the dark night sky and seeing the stars and the peace and quiet.
And the thing about boondocking that is so neat is, you're not dependent on plug-ins. You don't have usually noisy neighbors. We've been kept up by coyotes a few times. But there are some general rules about boondocking. There's some etiquette that you should follow when you're out in the wild. And to talk about that and the Eclipse are two people that, if you are a part of the RV community in any sort or any length of time, you know Mark and Dawn Polk. They are part of RV Education 101. They have the most comprehensive education system of videos and helpful guides about every aspect of RVs. We've had them on the podcast many times. I want to have them on the YouTube channel again and get more of them. But we had to talk to Mark and Dawn, two of our favorite people, about the Eclipse, and to get some boondocking advice for all those first-time people who are out there watching the Eclipse and maybe for the very first time, not plugged into shore power. Let's go and listen up now to Mark and Dawn Polk. Well, joining us right now from North Carolina, right, is Mark and Dawn Polk from RV Education 101. How are you guys?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Well, I'm ready for the Eclipse. How about you?
Oh, man, that's really exciting, isn't it? I mean, it's unbelievable.
Now, where are you guys going to watch the Eclipse from?
We actually made reservations to be in the Outer Banks several months ago, and it starts on Monday, so we will be en route to the North Carolina Outer Banks.
I totally forgot when I made reservations.
I bet. Well, you're lucky. How long ago did you make reservations?
Probably about 3 months ago, I think.
Some people had to make them a year in advance, and it's that crazy.
I know, and all the KOAs are sold out. I heard
they are
in the Eclipse path. So
it's amazing. It's amazing. Well, guys, you know more about RV education than anybody I know on the internet, and for a lot of RVers, this will be the first time they've ever really boondocked. They're used to plugging into conveniences and campgrounds. They're going to be out in fields, farmers' fields, on ranches in the middle of nowhere. And I wondered if you could share a couple of boondocking basics. Now, they're not staying out there for weeks on end, but just to make that stay as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, whenever you're camping without connections, without hookups, a couple things come to mind. And number one would be, how much water can you carry or store in your freshwater holding tank? If you're going to go out there in a really small travel trailer, you might only be able to take 20 gallons of water with you, and you're going to have to monitor that and make sure that you don't, use all your water.
Water management.
Yeah, absolutely. And next, I would say without a source of electricity, you're going to rely on your batteries. So you would have to monitor the charge in the batteries, and you would have to monitor what devices you're using and how long you're using them. Because if you lose your charge, then you either have to start the RV and run it to charge the batteries, or in the case of a towable RV, you might have to plug the light cord into the tow vehicle and start that vehicle and hope you have a charge line to charge the battery. So there's just things that you're going to have to be aware of and monitor throughout that trip.
And we're told in many places water is sold out. It's hard to find bottled water. So obviously people hopefully at this point in the game have brought their stuff with them.
Yeah.
And what about, just basic boondocking etiquette? Because, again, many people have never done this. They think they can just park it there, but, keeping a site clean and just some basic good manners when you're boondocking.
Well, not getting too close to each other is one thing, because the reason they're out there is because they don't want to be right next to you. So kind of be mindful of that location.
The thing I like to always tell everybody, no matter what the situation is, whether you're boondocking or camping at a campground, is to always leave the site in the condition you found it in or better. You need to be really careful and consider how much the unit weighs, and if you're going to be driving out into a farmer's field to watch the eclipse, you don't want to put huge ruts in somebody's yard or field, or and you just have to be mindful of no fires. No, it's just too dangerous to start a fire. So you just have to be mindful of just really campground etiquette that you would apply at a campground, and just make sure you do the same, when you're out boondocking.
Well, I'm hoping that, I'm betting that this is going to introduce a lot of people to the joys of being unplugged and getting out there. I've been telling everybody this is, I think, the largest mass RV travel weekend in history. And as we've looked at the video of all the traffic, it's every other vehicle is an RV of some sort. So it's going to be a big weekend. Well, Mark and Don Polk from RV Education 101, enjoy the eclipse. Thanks for being a part of the program, and we're looking forward to seeing the sun get blacked out. I'm in Georgia, where we'll be watching.
Make sure you have your glasses on.
And
that's
take
right.
care of your pets, too. Don't let them look at it directly.
Jennifer was just saying that, too, the same thing, because dogs are going to be curious. They're talking, they don't know what birds are going to do, the birds are on the roost.
And cows, everything.
I can't even imagine how many... people and animals are going to be affected by this in a negative way if they're not aware of it or ready for it.
All the cows are going to come in for milking. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But drive careful, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Okay, Mike.
You,
Good
Mike.
to see you.
Great to see you guys.
All right.
One of our very favorite people, Don and Mark Polk. And we'll have them on our podcast, and we'll have them on our YouTube travel RV lifestyle channel as well as we get going. At the end of that, we mentioned pets, and I see our friend Bob Zagami up in New England. Hey, Bob, how are you? I'm glad to see you with us today. Bob has asked that question, too, about pets, and you've been asking that question on and off all week.
Yeah, I think I would keep my pet inside. If we had Bo with us, I would put him inside. I can't imagine him looking up.
Yeah, I think dogs, I think they're smarter than we are.
Well, I wouldn't want to take a chance. Somebody might have a potato chip or something. You
should. And we have heard a lot of warnings, and we'll touch on this a couple times yet, even in this before we end this broadcast, about all of us being careful. It is okay to look at the total eclipse if you are in that line of totality for a couple of minutes. It only lasts 2 minutes when it's totally blocked off, and then you can see the corona around it. But the danger is for those people who even have a slice of it showing through the light. What do they say? 30 seconds? 30 seconds can cause permanent and irreversible eye damage. So make sure you have those glasses. There's been a couple of reports we've had about glasses being sold that have been recalled because they're not safe enough. We've heard lots of reports about that. Some of the other glitches we've heard, let's see, we heard a report up in Idaho about a number of people who had paid $200 a night for a camping site, only to get to the site, hundreds of them, and found that it was a scam. They weren't allowed on. We were told also, I think in Idaho, that all the porta potties have been sold and booked out since November. So you can see this is a big deal. It's funny to me, this is just my little thing about the industry, the RV industry, how they only care about marketing. And that's because they hire just marketers. They don't have people who really RV, like the people you're meeting here today, because the industry missed this. This is the single biggest RV travel event weekend ever. And the industry is so built on just trying to, we're going to sell the millennials, we're going to do this, and they missed it. And that's why we love what we try to do in our road trekking blog and our YouTube RV lifestyle channel is just to talk about the lifestyle.
How much fun it is.
It's fun.
The nice people you meet, the beautiful things that you see.
And you can see when the industry misses such an event like this, it shows how out of touch they really are. And and as we're hearing from so many of you as you're watching all of this stuff, you can ask questions along the edge. I have to put my glasses on always. I have to do this. Let's see. More fun to use box and see the shadow clearly. Yeah, that's really good, Gail. Gail saw with an idea of using a shadow box. We used to make those in school, and that's good stuff. Hello from Jackson, Mississippi to Jimmy, and we've got lots of folks, our friends on Rolling On TV. Hi to you guys. We love what you do as well. 2 gals and a dog are out there. Love all these RVs. So, and Bob Zagami, who is an industry spokesman, is agreeing. He says, I'm amazed the industry missed this. Yes, they did, Bob. They really did miss it. They just want to sell RVs. They don't want to tell people how to use them and have fun. And it's great. All right. Now, we've talked about a number of different gatherings. We have our big road trekking gathering. We've had little individual gatherings. There are some places that are scenes of massive parties. They've turned this into a festival of sorts. And that's where we're going to go next, right under one of the cities that's very close, a big city that's close to that line of totality. We're going to go to Kansas City, Missouri. And we're going to listen to just how big of a deal this is for a bunch of RVers who not only are there in their RVs, but they're going to have a great time. So let's check in with this group of road trekkers that you'll meet in Kansas City. Now we go under the line of totality to Kansas City, Missouri, and a bunch of our road trekking friends. We see Deb, we see Lisa, and right there on the left is our friend Laura Robinson. And there's D.W. Helsinski. Hey, Dan, how are you? Tell us, Laura, where you are, what you're doing.
Well, we are in downtown Kansas City, Missouri at the Sola Noir event where some artists and people in the Crossroads district, which is our big arts district, have invited 30 international and street artists and also from around the United States to come paint about 20 buildings in Kansas City downtown.
Wow.
And it's an event that started August 7th and it finishes today. And Sola Noir, SOLANOIR, is all about the eclipse. So they did it to honor the eclipse. It has been amazing.
Show us some of that mural behind you. That's awesome. There's a nice road trek somebody's got, yeah?
Yeah, that's my road trek. But here's one of the buildings.
Beautiful.
There are alleys across the street. There's a whole alley over here. And then there's a building right behind us here.
Wow.
Yeah, they are gorgeous. But Lisa came in, Dan came in, Deb and Michael came in, and we've been going up and down the alleys and driving around. They have a great map. Tomorrow, or actually this afternoon, we're headed up to Plattsburgh, Missouri, which is on the line of totality. It's just a little bit east of St. Joe, which is one of the big hot spots. I think we have 2 minutes and 30 some seconds of total coverage. So we're headed up to a friend's farm this afternoon. We're going to have a big cookout. We have a few road treks and some other campers coming up.
Why is this such a great event for RVers around the country? It seems there's never been more RVs on the road than there are this weekend. What do you think it is about this event that is drawing so many so far?
Well, for one thing, it's once in our lifetime that we get to see this, really. And we're so mobile, it's easy. We have our food, our beds, our restrooms, you know. I mean, it's just a really, it's like an event like this is just made for RVs, or RVs were made for this kind of thing. I mean, we're easy to...
Yep.
It's a great thing to do, and it brings us all together. We expect to see RVs parked alongside the road tomorrow.
Well, now, Lisa Gruner, you drove from Huntsville. Tell us how far you drove for this.
About 16 hours.
16 hours for 2 minutes of totality.
No, I
I came to boondock in Laura's driveway and spend some time with some road trek friends, which is what it was all about. I'm just, the bonus is getting to see the eclipse. I told Bill this was the great eclipse adventure.
It is a great adventure. Laura, many of our listeners, of course, and viewers know you from all of your photography classes that you teach at our gatherings. A word of caution to people who are trying to photograph this and may not have read up on it. Maybe you could offer a tip or two.
Well, your cell phones and your cameras, if you point them at the sun for too long, it could burn up the sensor in your camera.
Really?
And cell phones, yeah. So unless you have the proper filters, I heard something on the news that said you could put your solar glasses over the front. Deb's got hers right here. There you go.
Yeah.
But that you can put it over the lens of your camera, but I would not even try that.
Look at it on television. Yeah.
Yeah, and me personally, I know a lot of the camera websites have been sold out for a long time for these filters. And me personally, I'm not going to fiddle with it. I didn't want to buy the special filters just for a one-time event. And also, I want to watch it personally. I don't want to be fiddling with my focus or any of that kind of thing and miss it since it's only 2 minutes.
That's great. Talk about the crowds. I know we've chatted a couple of times earlier in the week, and how many people have moved into that area, what the atmosphere is like.
Oh, heavens. Well, St. Joe, Missouri, which has a long period of coverage like Plattsburgh, is a town normally 70,000 people. They're expecting 2 million visitors. They've been getting ready for months. They had on the news the other day, a lady in her garage in the last 2 weeks has printed 10,000 T-shirts and sold them to the city. My friend who lives in Lathrop, which is a teeny tiny, normally like a little ghost town, just east of Plattsburgh, is going to sell water from her driveway. Chateau Dairy, which is a local dairy down the street from where we're going to be, is selling just parking spaces for $40 a spot.
Oh, my
So in Plattsburgh, we have 2,000 people. Normally, my parents live up there and I have land up there, but they were expecting 50,000 people.
So gridlock.
All the conservation areas, the parks, are just booked solid, and so I'm glad we're going to private property. But a lot of my friends up there, the farms, they're all having parties. They're renting parking space, RV space. It's crazy.
It's a once in a lifetime event, and
it sure is. And we've been on the internet. Lisa, tell them, didn't you say people were selling glasses for?
Yeah, these little paper glasses. Folks were hoarding them. I saw one earlier advertised for $50.
No.
Yeah.
And I had a friend just post here in Kansas City that 2 Hy-Vees just got a shipment in today, and everybody's out of glasses. So one of my friends here in town is selling them from her driveway.
Oh,
she
my
had a little
goodness.
stash. So
Entrepreneurship at its best in America.
Absolutely.
Well, take it, Jennifer and I wish we were with you guys tonight, but we feel that we are celebrating a little bit with you. It sounds like a great party. I know Laura always puts on a good party, and if Lisa's there, I bet you bought some pecan pie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did some cherry pie this time with lots of pecans in it.
And we've gone and bought pastries. We had some really good Kansas City barbecue from Jack Stack last night, and I will be bringing some to the Blues and Barbecue event next month.
That is our next road tucking gathering in Tupelo. Deb, it's good to see you. I only saw Dan and Mike in the background, but say goodbye to them. There's Dan and Mike. Hey, Dan, Mike, good to see you guys. One of the beauties of this RV community that we're in is that we are so different. We are all over the country, but we come together so many times for events like this that it is truly a family. And thank you guys for being part of the family. Have a great eclipse, and we're delighted to have you on the program.
You too. Happy sun watching, and don't forget the tinfoil hats.
Tinfoil hat. yeah. I saw that I think it was the South Carolina Department of Transportation had an issue. They issued a tongue-in-cheek thing about being careful of alien evidence, and then the media, the media got a hold of it, thought they were being serious, and oh gosh, you can't even have fun and joking about stuff anymore. Hey, we're getting lots of comments and questions. Chuck Swift says, hope to be in a road trek someday. Hey, come on, Chuck, the water's fine. We had a question from, oh gosh, did I write her name down because she scrolled off? I think Bev. Yeah, Bev was up in Nebraska, and she wanted to know if we had any recommendations to stuff to do around Kearney, Nebraska, which is near that line of Total. We love Kearney. That is where that covered museum, that Frontier Museum, goes across the interstate.
Make sure you stop and see that.
Yeah, it's great. Go see the eclipse and then go over to that Frontier, I don't know what they call it. It's a bridge that crosses the freeway and you walk across. It's a terrific idea of what it was like in the original RVs that went west along the Oregon Trail there. And those were covered wagons. Those are the original RVs. In fact, I bought a T-shirt there that says the original RV, and it was pretty cool.
And I'm still upset. We stopped and saw it the first time that we went west, but then we went back with our kids. We didn't stop because we had this time limitation, and I'm still upset that we didn't have them see that.
We'll be out there soon. We will see that.
Hopefully we'll go out west again.
We'll see that again. Hey, just in case you're tuning in, this is an hour-long special, the most ambitious thing we've tried on Facebook Live and on our YouTube RV Lifestyle channel. I'm Mike Wendland, my wife Jennifer. We travel about more than half the time, and our full-time job is now doing videos, writing the roadtrekking.com RV travel lifestyle blog, and our RV lifestyle channel on YouTube. And I'll tell you more about all that later on so you know it. But we love doing this. We're learning a lot of stuff from this. Our idea is to do these kind of reports, interview top leaders and real RVers, not marketers, no marketing stuff. Real RVers, meet them all around the country and do a lot more of these videos and using this technology. And it's really fun. Let's see. I put on my glasses, see if I'm missing questions or comments. We got Karen and Stan and James from Maryland. They're watching, and Dennis out in Glendo, and Kathy and out in Milwaukee, I think is where Kathy's from. So it's great to see so many. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for being on the program as well. Hey, we got more though. We got to get back to work here. All right, so we've seen party festivals. That's where that last report was. They were at Party Central. They're going to have bands all day tomorrow. We've seen big organized groups like our organized road trekking thing. We've saw small gatherings in people's driveways where a couple of road treks or RVs have gotten together. But for a lot of people, it was a time to get away to a campground. And there are a number of campgrounds. We now want to go to another place. There's only one big city. Let's see if we can do a trivia question. You know the one big city that is in the zone of totality? Only one. Tick, 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 tick. Quick, the first person who answers it. I'll give you 5 seconds if you answer it. First, the only big city in the zone of totality. First person who answers, I'll send you a road trekking hat. Well, you got to answer it in 10 seconds before I answer.
Maybe make it a solar grill.
I'll tell you what, I'll sell you a solar grill. You want a solar grill? $300 solar grill. First person who can answer that, you got 10 seconds to answer. What's the one big city that's in the zone of totality? 5 seconds. 4, 3. Sherry, you won. Sherry Gaither. She won. It's Nashville, Tennessee. Very good.
Now we got to get her address and all that.
Yeah, I'll get your address, Sherry, and I'll send you a $300 solar grill.
$165, sir.
Oh, $165. I don't know. Okay, maybe they've gone down in price. Anyway, you'll get one of those. It's really cool. In fact, we should give away a bunch of those. So, Sherry, drop me a PM with your address, and I will get that shipped off to you in a couple of weeks. We'll see if we can figure out another way we can give out some of those solar grills. That's good. All right. So, anyway, I was back to saying small gatherings in state parks. One of the areas is Nashville, Tennessee, and near the Nashville and Kentucky area, people are flocking. There was a report yesterday that so many people were going to the rest area. You know that rest area near Jellicoe on I-75? Yeah. And they were setting up tents to watch the eclipse yesterday, 2 days before. And the state had to come through and say, nope, you only stay 2 hours. But we want to go into some friends of ours who are near Lebanon, Tennessee, which is near Nashville. And they are regulars on our Facebook community and our YouTube channel and on the blog. You know them as Jesse and Ari Adler. And let's go to them and check in from where they are and see what they've got for us this weekend. Well, let's go to another spot on the line of totality to Tennessee. And hook up with our friends Ari and Jesse Adler, and there they are next to their RV. Where are you guys going to watch the eclipse?
We're at the Cedars of Lebanon State Park in Tennessee, and we're right on 100% totality here.
Now, how crowded is that park? Are there a lot of people there? What's the atmosphere? A lot of RVs are out.
It's busy, but they said that it was going to be sold out, but like right now we have no neighbors on either side of us. So we'll see if people start coming in a little bit more now with with the eclipse happening tomorrow. But we didn't really hit much traffic coming out from Michigan other than the usual construction. And it seems like a busy weekend at a state park, but not anything I would say is unusual.
Well, that is
when we did check in, they were providing eclipse classes to everybody and a schedule of events that's going to happen tomorrow. So they're gearing up for a lot of people expected, I'm assuming arriving tomorrow, like day use people.
We saw a report on the internet that the rest area at the Kentucky-Tennessee border, people were setting up tents and they were out there evicting people. That's how many people were coming down.
We didn't go through there.
Wow. Yeah, we didn't see that on the way down, but this park has a big day use area with some wide open spaces too. So I think you're going to see, in addition to the people camping here, we'll probably have a good crowd for that.
Why do you think this is so appealing to RVers? There are probably more RVers on the road this weekend than have ever traveled before in the United States.
Part of it, I think, is because you have the ability to kind of get out wherever you need to be, to follow either the weather or to find a good open space to see everything. So that being able to camp somewhere, I know like out west, a lot of people are on BLM lands and there's a lot of wide open spaces. We're going to get lucky here, I think, in Tennessee and have great weather, but especially with our road truck van, we were ready to move if we needed to kind of chase away the clouds.
That's the beauty. Great to see you guys. Have a good eclipse, and we'll see you on the road.
Great. Thanks, Mike. Happy.
Because you can see what's happening in their congestion, their campground, was they were getting a lot of people using cellulars. Everybody's then using the cell phone, and so the signal dies, and that's why they were kind of pixelating there. Hey, I got a news bulletin. You just saw a couple of reports go back from Nebraska. Our friend Jeff Mardiga up there. They were going to watch the totality near Lincoln, Nebraska. Jeff's on the move. He says he's going to Wyoming. They got a sudden forecast of clouds, a possibility of clouds tomorrow. So he's in his car driving all night long to Wyoming, where the weather forecast is going to be clear.
Well, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
It is.
You got to go. He's got that much committed to it.
It truly is. Jeff. It truly is. All right, I've got another report I want to bring in now. This event, this eclipse and all the camping, has also been a boon, not only for boondockers, but it has also been, and RVers, but also for our national parks. Last year was our national parks 100th anniversary, and we just love them. This has been great because so many of our national parks are near that band of totality. The most popular, you know what the most popular national park in the country is?
Yellowstone?
Nope. Ooh. Maybe it is with us, because I said, nope. I could give away something else, but I'm not can't afford all the shipping for it. But okay, the most popular national park in America is the Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
Well, that makes sense.
And it is a zoo there. There are so many people there. All the campgrounds are filled. And we want to check in with Sherry Gaither, who is out there. And she has been monitoring the situation for us, gone and visited all of the campgrounds. And let's bring her in. We had to get her up in her cabin, up in the mountains, because the cell phone congestion was so crowded down in the park itself. So let's meet Sherry and go to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Joining us now from the Great Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, we're going to talk to our friend Sherry Gaither is down there. Sherry, you look like you're sitting on a front porch in the woods in a nice little mountain cabin.
That's exactly right. I was born and raised in Tennessee, and we live back here on a few acres, way back in the woods at the end of a gravel road in Townsend.
Now tell us what it is like in the Great Smoky Mountains for the Great Eclipse of 2017. What's the atmosphere like there?
The atmosphere is, I would describe it as anticipating. We're not sure how it's going to be, but we feel that it's going to be pretty crowded around here.
Well, what is it like now? I mean, we're just a few hours away, really, from the eclipse. How many people are in town? What are the campgrounds like? Is there gridlock? Is there a party feeling?
All of the campgrounds are full here in Townsend. I believe I counted, we have 9 campgrounds. Some are large. Most all of them are large campgrounds. They're all full to capacity. The hotels are full to capacity. We had a kind of a Eclipse kickoff last night with Balloon Fest, and our population is normally 440 in the city limits, and there were 10 to 12,000 people here last night. The traffic was not. We have one highway here.
Wait a minute. The city is 440 people,
Right.
and you had how many people last night?
10 to 12,000 is the estimate.
Oh my goodness! Has it ever been that crowded?
No.
Yeah, that is great. So, what does the eclipse mean to you, and why do you think it is resonating so much with RVers around the country?
Well, at first, I didn't think a lot about the eclipse, but the closer it has gotten, the more the news stations have talked about this, especially since Tennessee is in the path of totality. So it's a big event here. Now, we're actually planning on just walking out to our field outside our cabin and viewing the eclipse tomorrow. And then one of the local campgrounds is having a big celebration. It's called Big Meadow. They have about 78 spots there. All of them have, I believe, 50 amp hookup with patios. So we're going over tomorrow to help with bingo about 3:30. They're having moon pies.
Moon pies? Tell us what a moon pie is. People, if you got to be down in Tennessee to know what a moon pie is.
Well, I didn't think that other people might not know what a moon pie is, but they're made in Tennessee.
Yeah.
They're chocolate covered, kind of a round graham cracker with cream in the middle of them.
I remember them because the Grand Ole Opry, moon pies used to sponsor the Grand Ole Opry.
Okay.
That's good. Well, Sherry, you're lucky because you live in the Great Smokies. You are also an RVer. I know your RV is out there in your driveway right now, and you're going to be volunteering and working at a campground tomorrow. I appreciate your check-in. You've sent us a couple of photos on traffic in the area, and we're going to show those as well. They'll be shown as we're playing this video. We thank you so much for joining us. You look great. It's a beautiful place to be in the Smoky Mountains for the total eclipse of the sun.
Well, thanks so much, Mike. And I do want to tell you that Road Trek has come in handy because my son works up at Cades Cove at the campground here in the Smoky Mountains. And he is taking it this afternoon to camp out up there because they are saying that they're going to close the roads as soon as it's full up there. So he's just spending the night in the Road Trek. Just another good reason to have one.
Oh, it is. It sure is. But to have fun and enjoy the eclipse. Sherry Gaither, Caves Cove in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, one of our favorite places to go photograph, especially in the fall. And we'll be there this year as well. And that's good. All right, just saying hello to some of the folks who've checked in. Gail, who's been with us throughout this program. Gail Saul, thank you. Bobby Braun, Bob Zagami, of course. Stay off the roads tomorrow. Yeah, Bob, it's going to be crazy. My friend Ken Michelson from down in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. That's he owns a dog named Princess, and that is our dog Bo's girlfriend down in Florida. And Ken, I see, was watching us tonight. I don't know if you're still there, Ken, but a shout out to you. Well, this has been a fun time. I'm right up. I said we'd do an hour. We're already an hour and 2 minutes into it. And we want to end in a minute and show you where Jennifer and I are going to watch. We have been kind of quiet where we are, and we'll share that as we go out here in a moment. But just a couple of quick things. This is the first for us. So if there's any glitches, I'm kind of sorry if there was some confusion. I think we figured them all out. We're testing out a whole bunch of new gadgets and gizmos and secret software. And I hope to be able to do this on a regular basis from Facebook and then on our YouTube channel. Now, I have no sponsor for this thing. We did this all ourselves. We've been working all week on it. So I want to just give you a quick hit on how you can help me out here, if you will, a little bit. This is what I'd like you to do. If it's not too much, I'd like you to go to our Facebook. If I can figure out how to get it up from there. I can't pull it up from there. Oh, we'll see if I can do it. To go to my... Oh, here we go. I'm not even paying attention to my own thing. I want you to go here to our RV Lifestyle channel and click that subscribe button, and that will subscribe you to our channel. You'll know when we have new videos. And also, all the stuff we mentioned, the products we mentioned, you can find those right here at kit.com/RV Lifestyle, and we invite you to check on those things as well. And we would love to have you know what we're doing. And that's about it. We hope to do many, many more of these. Give us your feedback. This will go up on the YouTube RV Lifestyle channel, Mike and Jennifer's RV Lifestyle channel at YouTube. And if you want to go to that address, here it is. This is how to find our YouTube channel. Just go to rvlifestylechannel.com. It'll take you right there. And if you would just subscribe, there's a little bell there, and if you click that bell, you can be notified when we have new videos up. We have new ones up all the time. We're working on 2 that'll go up this week, and we'd love to have you be a part of that. So it has been really fun to be with all of you guys. You have been just an absolute delight of an audience. You've been patient. I thank all of the RVers across the country who have checked in with us. And now I want to show you where we are, and as we sign out tonight, where we will be spending our watching of the eclipse. Also, by the way, again, go to the YouTube RV Lifestyle channel, our RV Lifestyle channel on YouTube, and you'll see this in its full, and you can watch it at length whenever you want. So where's Jennifer and I tonight? Let me close off by taking you with us of where we are going to watch the eclipse. Well, as the sun sets on Eclipse Eve, we thought we would show you where we're going to watch the eclipse. We're in Albany, Georgia, and we're actually with our son and his family. We've shared before in a podcast and our videos that we're down here to watch some football games. 2 of our grandsons are playing football. Now, they're only going to be about, what did they say, 90% totality here?
That's right.
So 90%. Behind us is... well, if you're a country western song, you know who Luke Bryant is. He's always singing about the Flint River. Well, that's the Flint River back there. It's part of Chehaw, Lake Chehaw, and in southwest Georgia. So only about 90% here. But we want to end this report just underscoring the need to be careful when you look at that sun. We've been reading a lot about it. And boy, be careful when you look at it.
And make sure the glasses fit, particularly children. Just don't take any chances.
You know, it's very easy. They say, we read a report from an optometrist today who said that he was just so worried that on Tuesday morning his office is going to be filled with people who say, hey, suddenly my eyesight's not working too good. And the damage from looking at the sun unprotected is permanent, and it's it's irreversible. It's permanent.
And don't forget about your pets.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
sure your pets are inside.
I think pets are
they
smart.
don't know. I don't know. They might look up. You never know. So
I think they
take
are.
care of your pets.
Well, we hope that you have enjoyed all these reports. We hope that you have a great eclipse. It's quite an event. And wherever you watch it, be careful. We'll see you back here. Do us a favor. Go over to our Mike and Jennifer's RV Lifestyle channel on YouTube and subscribe, because we have videos up all the time. Thanks for being with us. And we'll see you out there on the road. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.